Hi, this is Josh Erdman, CEO of Systems and Marketing Solutions, and it's time to do our weekly marketing question of the day. We're doing a lot of actually FAQs, small answers to a lot of common questions that happen all the time. And in the world, I get questions varying from pay-per-click advertising to what to do with websites, SEO, and those are a lot of the previous ones that we've talked about. But this week, we're going to talk about some FAQs for social media. The first one that we're going to go over has to do with boosting posts. In Facebook, you might be working really hard to build an audience. You post interesting things. You probably find some memes or steal some memes and share those. And the question is, do I boost these? Facebook is offering to boost these posts. Is that helpful for me? So boosting is not the same as Facebook ads. It's very similar. It's kind of the gateway drug into Facebook ads, but you need to understand how it works. So we're going to have to zoom out a little bit and have it get a little complicated. First, let's talk about participating. When you're in social media, you are earning activities. Being in social media is the postings that you're doing that are interesting, the ones that people will share to their friends. That's helpful. That's what social media activity is. And as you do that, you get more followers, and hopefully you have people that like your page and share it and talk about it. So think about it like a Facebook user. A person that uses Facebook has a lot of friends. They have a lot of pages that they show. And any one time that you use Facebook, you have this Facebook feed that could show an infinite amount of content from all the people that you follow. So what Facebook has to do is filter it. It uses a relevance algorithm to decide what is the most relevant thing to show its reader, its subscriber on the feed. So if you are always liking what certain friends say, but you ignore all the pages that you follow, then the pages will have a lower relevance. So if you scroll forever and you continually scroll, you spend 2 or 3 hours on Facebook just scrolling in your feed. As you get further down, you're getting to older content, and you're also getting to less relevant content, and those finally show up. So boosting posts in Facebook, what you're really doing is you're buying relevance. You're paying to get your ad higher up on the relevance of people scrolling through. That's what boosting a post really is about. And it's similar to buying an ad in that you're paying Facebook to show things, but instead of boosting relevance with buying an ad, you're able to show it to other audiences, people that have no relationship to you at all whatsoever. They meet your age criteria, your geographic criteria. So that's kind of the difference. Boosting posts is an amplification of you participating in social media, being a person that posts interesting things, and advertising really is just buying traffic, buying activity. Both of those are very helpful, but what we found is for both boosting posts and for ads, it helps when you have an audience. If you have no one following you, it can be very expensive, but that might be the fastest way to gain an audience is to start buying it. You can post and then use an ad to take your post and show it elsewhere. It's similar to boosting, but it's grabbing people that aren't following you. And the ad focus would be to get them to follow your page. So it can be expensive, but again, it's the situation in social media is when you post something, if there's no one there to view it, does the post even matter? Does those efforts even pay off? Like the tree falling in the forest. Is anyone there? Does it make a sound if no one's there to hear it? So it takes a while to build that up. Working in social media is definitely one of those long-term strategies to build marketing that returns into a worthwhile investment for you. And that actually is the second question. Does Facebook actually create a measurable return on investment? And that's when you're doing a long-term strategy, it's hard to prove that. What you would do is you'd see how many posts you have, and ideally, if you're posting correctly on your site, what you're sharing are interesting posts. You want to share funny things, you want to share memes, you want to share good information that wows people, but some of that really good information should be a blog. And if you have a blog on your website, you can share that blog in social media. And what you're doing is social media now is driving traffic to your website. So now what you have to do is have tracking set up properly on your website. And if you have something like Google Analytics, it will show you traffic coming to your site. So measurable ROI, something you measure is as you build a Facebook audience and you start from the 40 friends and family that you know, and now you're at 2,000 people, you should see a significant amount of traffic, referral traffic from Facebook because of those efforts. And again, that's only if you are driving traffic to your site. Please don't always drive traffic to your site. That's inauthentic. When you're posting on social media and you're trying to grow your network, there's 4 things that you should post. One of those is information. You want to wow people. So blog articles are a great way to give someone some information that establishes you as an authority, but they're learning something. Another one is comedy. If you're an expert in the field, there are funny and interesting things that you see that happen all the time. So by all means, post those. Other ones are accomplishments. You want to post some accomplishments for your company. Maybe you got a certification or your company opened up a remote office. Those are authentic things that show a healthy, growing company. So by all means, post those. And then finally, the last one has to do with the did you knows. Instead of just blowing someone away, a simple educational campaign to help make them a little bit smarter. You're giving away free information, and that's a way to invest in your social media community. So by all means, yes, Facebook can create a return on investment, but if you aren't tracking the activity on your website, then you can't really measure it. And then the next thing you would want to track after you're tracking activity on your website is what your conversions look like. How many people that visit your site does it take before you get a phone call? And how many phone calls do you need before you convert that into a proposal? Then you would actually have some measurable conversions for you to work on. Finally, the last question I'm going to answer is, which social media platform is best? And that varies depending on your demographic. If you are a retirement home and you're looking for older clientele, there's 2 people I'd want to reach out to. I'd want to reach out to the retirees, the grandmas and grandpas, and you can definitely target those on Facebook. But I'd also want to reach out to their children, the mid-adults at ages, in their 40s, who might be looking for those for their parents. So older people, definitely on Facebook. Younger people are Facebook, LinkedIn. The demographics vary. Same thing if, are you business to business or business to consumer? The consumer social media posts, the consumer social media demographics, definitely Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, those are hot. If you're mostly business, well, there really is only one place to go, and that is LinkedIn, and also Google search terms. Google PPC with Google Ads is a great way to go for businesses looking for other professional business services. One really helpful thing you can do is if you go online to Google and do a search for social media demographics, there are many articles giving you a breakdown of age and gender and ethnicity, income levels, interests in a bunch of social medias. And then if you, on that Google search, click the images up at the top, you can see a lot of infographics. And there's some really helpful infographics to give you an idea on what it looks like for the other social media networks that you might not frequent so much. I'm thinking of Waze, for example. And one new one that we've been introducing to clients that is totally unexpected is Pinterest. Pinterest is huge, but strongly for the female demographic because of the before and after photos. Women love these before and after photos. So if you are a painter, Pinterest would be actually very popular for you because it's probably the wife that's making the decision on the way the colors of the house. So she can pin before and after photos of a lot of houses to get an idea of what she likes. Pinterest is also a long-term play though, because the women are thinking about what they want it to look like when they're ready to finally paint. Or if you did flooring, they're going to look at all kinds of different tiles. I guess the same thing would go for counters and cabinetry as well. Dentists, we have some dentist clients that use Pinterest for those smile makeovers and before and after photos of those. So Pinterest is huge in marketing, huge to participate in for those women that are doing before and after pins. They're saving all these pictures. But again, it's a long-term play. And I guess that's probably the big thing that we should touch on, especially with social media, is most of social media is a long-term play. You're building an audience, you're building a relationship. Unless you're doing specific ads with a call to action, then those would be short-term. The short-term plays would be, that you have a coupon or a deal, and because you're offering this deal for a limited time, you can see an immediate return on investment in the activity and engagement. So that's it. We have a lot of other questions that we've talked about previously. Let me see if I look through my list here. Last week was on SEO. The last 2 weeks before that were a lot of Google questions. And then we started this whole FAQ series on websites, website SEO, website questions. So if you have any other questions, if you have questions, feel free to post them on this video. We'll gather those together and continue our FAQ series. If not, we have a whole lot of other good ideas for you. So we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.